Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, back doing a best of 3 Brothers War draft. We've got Steel Seraph as the rare. I imagine we're going to take this. This card is excellent. Even if you can't prototype it, this card is super strong. Doesn't even put you into white, which is kind of the beauty of prototype. Otherwise, we have Blanchwood Armor, which supports the sort of monocolor theme that is in this format. I've tried the mono red. I have not tried the mono green. Iron Craw Crusher, good card, as is most of the prototype cards. Junkyard Genius, you know, I keep talking about how awesome this card is and have never played it, so one of these days. In fact, I don't even think I played against it. How weird is that? Ichor Wellspring, this card is also good for the sack deck. Warlord's Elite's an excellent card. I love Emergency Weld. Ever since the update, this Emergency Weld is looking weird. All these, like, dual face cards are not centered correctly. Anyway, let's take Steel Seraph, be happy, be completely open, and move on. All right. So, uncommons we have Great Desert Prospector, pretty good. Urza, Power Stone Prodigy, also pretty good. Looter. And Mask of the Jade Crafter, which impressed me. I did get a chance to play it, and I liked it. I feel like there's a pretty good, whenever an artifact enters the battlefield, sort of theme in this format, and this is really good for that. You can get 4 triggers off of it. Playing it, sacking it, unearthing it, and sacking it again. So, pretty cool for that reason. Chromatic Star, good for random artifact synergies as well. Phalanx Vanguard is a solid 2-drop. Probably just take one of the uncommons here. Kind of not blown away by anything, so maybe just Urza. Could take the Great Desert. You know what? Actually, I haven't played this before, and to be honest, it kind of makes sense with Steel Seraph, since this kind of wants you to do the prototype. I mean, if you can pay 3 mana for a 3/3 flyer with that ability, you're pretty happy. I haven't played the Prospector. I kind of want to give it a shot. We'll see. Follow-up pick. Well, mass production is good. Still could be a soldier deck. Mass production and then play a Prospector, get a bunch of Power Stone tokens. It's kind of cool. Flow of Knowledge is not a very good uncommon. I guess, once again, the mono color decks. Maybe it's good. I mean, that's the only place it's really good, I guess. I mean, if you have 5 islands and you're drawing 5 and discarding 2, you're feeling pretty good. Bushwhack is an amazing card. There's Ornithopter, there's Koilos Rock. Stern Lesson is very good. Power Stone Fracture is very playable. Only Shell's playable. I love Giant Growth still. Maybe just take the mass production. Stick with white. Could just take the Bushwhack. This card is amazing. This card's never bad. Makes more hands keepable. Which is very good. Yeah, likely better than mass production, I would think. Even with Great Desert Prospector, I'd probably rather have fight or find land fix all of that. So Keeper of the Cadence. Not a bad card. I tend to never play it, but decking is a real thing in this format. There's Airlift Chaplain, which is good. You either get land or another card or a 2/2 flyer. So that is good. Foundry Inspector is very good too, though. Makes all your artifacts cheaper and is a 3 mana 3/2, which is really never bad. Not amazing against aggro, because usually don't want to trade with it, but can trade with X3s, so not bad. I'd probably take it. Taking gray cards early is never bad, because you're just more open to more colors. So you can see what's wheeling and decide what color you want to be after that. I really like Scrapwork Rager a lot, but I will take the Inspector. I mean, there's super expensive artifacts in this format, so making them cheaper does seem good. So now there's Thran Vigil, which I don't really like. You need to have a lot of things to get any sort of value off of it, so not that good. Pristine Talisman is actually a fine card. I haven't played with it, but even when it was first printed, it was playable. I think it was in New Phyrexia, if I recall correctly. There's Epic Confrontation, another fight card, which is fine, and Opportunist, which spits out a parcel. I really like this card a lot, actually. Opportunist is good. I'd probably take removal over it if I'm going to take a green card. And then there's Rager, which is a good card. 2 cards. I mean, you really get a lot out of this. I feel like a lot. It could make the most sense to just take the Epic Confrontation, though. Let's just get the removal. We already have another good green. I mean, Bushwhack after Steel Seraph is probably our strongest card. Nothing amazing here. I might just take the Loren's Escape because I play against it quite a bit. There's Rust Goliath, which is actually maybe a fine card to take here. My only issue with Rust Goliath is paying 5 mana for a 3/5 Reach Trample isn't great. But, you know, if you get a billion mana, and we already have the Great Desert Prospector, we already have a couple green cards. Loren's Escape, I've gotten a couple times, and I have cut it. So maybe we just take the Rust Goliath. Like I said, we're not necessarily white. Plus, I guess Foundry Inspector makes it cheaper. All right, all that adds up to be probably good enough for me here. Hostile Negotiations. This card's fine. This format I've found to be pretty aggressive, though, which makes losing 3 life a lot less attractive. But you do get 3 cards out of it, which is good. Probably just take the Thopter. I really like this card. It's an uncommon. We're doing good on common to uncommon ratio right now. This card's pretty good. It's flyer. It's brown. It unearths. Let's take it. Depth Charge Colossus, not bad. Unleash Shell, some playable removal. Got a couple assembly workers in here. Could see taking the Tower Worker. We already have a couple things I wouldn't mind powering out. Probably over a second Rust Goliath that I don't need. Shoot Down is very main deckable. Could take this. Assembling all the assembly workers isn't really that great of a plan anyway. I feel like it's kind of a waste of deck slots, but I'll take the Tower Worker because ramping actually does seem like it could be good here. So, Blanchwood Armor. You know, there's a chance we end up mono green. Even if I do end up mono green, do I really want Blanchwood Armor? I mean, it's a reason to take a Blanchwood Armor, and I'm not giving up anything super sexy for it, so why not? All right. Do love Giant Growth. Could take the Power Plant Worker. Like I said, though, there's really not that much incentive to go full assembly worker plan. I mean, getting all 3 out, even if you get all 3, getting all 3 out is going to be pretty rare. There's supply drop too, but actually, I really like Giant Growth. 1 mana +3/+3 is a lot better than 3 mana +2/+2, even if you get a card drop out of that. But yeah, I'll just take it. I mean, if you're beating down, Giant Growth is just really good. Plus, just being able to leave up 1 green for protection or an extra 3 damage is just, it's very significant. There's a reason this card is as old as it is and can still be reprinted and be playable. Because it's good. All right, we'll take a second one over the Hoarding Recluse. Recluse is a fine card, but I don't know. I've won enough games with Giant Growth to know that I like Giant Growth. You can take Pallbearer. It's at its best in a self-mill deck, sack deck, whatever. But it's got Trample, which is totally relevant. Still not sure what our second color is. Still a chance that we are mono green. So we'll figure it out. It's kind of interesting to explore the mono color decks because I don't see them very often in this format. It's pretty dependent on specific cards. I don't even know if Blanchwood Armor is necessarily worth going into a monocolor for it, but I mean, you slap that on like a Thopter, you can totally win a game. We could take Wasteful Harvest, I guess. I mean, it makes Pallbearer better. Whatever. I don't think it's a very good card, and I don't think Fog of War is all that good either. But we're getting late green stuff. That's a good sign. Deathbloom Ritual, that's not that good. Harvester's pretty good. 2 mana 3/1. Let's see. This is a bit of a mess, unfortunately. Soul Guide Lantern. Get rid of your opponent's graveyard. It replaces itself. It's not bad. Enter the battlefield. You exile, and then, I mean, it gets rid of Unearth, and you can sack and draw. It's not bad. I'd probably just take a Harvester over it, I think. Even though, I mean, we need some more 2-drops, and it's a 2-drop, it's a 3/1, it's an uncommon. Excavation Explosion is probably the best card here. And that's true. We could possibly still end up a different color. But I want to make sure I have enough 2 drops, and who knows, maybe we end up playing black-red, or black-green rather, where Pallbearer is at its best, so we'll leave that available to us. Oh, past a Harbin? Sheesh. That's too bad, because this card is real good. But we're looking at probably Steel Seeker, because this card's amazing, and we already have more than enough artifacts to justify it. Over a second Inspector, which I would also definitely play in here, but Steel Seeker's just amazing. You just end up with a ton of card advantage, and it's a 2-drop, and it's just a great uncommon. So is Corsair. I really like this card. Butcher would be fine for this plan as well, but now we're taking Steel Seeker, and we're super happy about it. Dig Site Mentor. I mean, it's too much work, I think, to get that out. I really like the Arbalest Engineer. Could take Lauren. I mean, we've got some powerhouse, at least with Steel Seraph, an amazing artifact to bring back. We don't have any other legends currently, though, do we? I guess not. If we take Lauren and play it, we're probably not doing the Blanchwood Armor plan. I don't think I care about that. And Perimeter Patrol looks really good in here, too. But Lauren's upside is too high to not take here. Plus, then it makes our Prospector back online, plus prototyping that. So maybe green-white is where we're at. Or maybe we're still mono-green. I don't know yet. But we'll take the Lauren just because it's a great card. I like Recommission. Wait, what's Semblance? Oh, you have the Imprint's a tough one to justify in Limited. You can make your artifacts cheaper or whatever. So this card's interesting too. If you have good Into the Battlefield abilities, this is good. Like with Lauren, you can just keep getting back artifacts. But I could take Recommission. I might just take the Thopter though. Just take another flyer that we can stick an armor on if we want to. If we end up going mono green, and the Unearth is relevant, so I like it. Let's take it. Flyers. All right, could take the Crusher. I really like Cohort a lot. 2 bodies in 1. Boulder Branch Golem, more value there. 2 bodies in 1 is going to be better for the Steel Seeker, but Crusher is pretty strong. 2/5 and attacks. I mean, it's a 4 mana, attacks is a 4/5. That is really good. That's pretty efficient. Plus 7 mana, 4/6 attack is an 8/6 is also very good. I think we'll take it over the Cohort. It's also an uncommon. Maybe I shouldn't be letting that dictate my picks necessarily, but there's probably a reason why this is an uncommon and this is a common. Because it's just powerhouse way to finish, I think. All right, Cave Guard, more expensive things. Otherwise, I could take the Honor Guard. It's a soldier. I don't mind taking Cave Guard if we have more ways to ramp. Currently, we've got the Foundry Inspector. We have Tower Worker. Bushwhack finds lands. This still is putting us on track to be maybe mono green, possibly. Although Vanguard is looking pretty strong. Otherwise, we take Stalwart, which lets us splash white without necessarily playing plains and also ramps. And as a 1-drop, you can stick a Blanchwood on it. Vanguard's a better card than Stalwart. But like I said, Stalwart lets us power out 7, 8, 10 drops a little bit more efficiently, I would say. All right, let's take the Stalwart. Let's go for the sexy sort of mono green plan. I think it's just interesting enough where I want to do it. All right, we get Retrieval Unit over the second Pallbearer just because I'm going to have to play all this expensive stuff somehow. So let's do it. Onulet, I mean, can technically unearth it with Stalwart. No, we don't need Power Stone tokens. We don't need anything else here. I'm not going to play Goblin Firebomb, so. Ooh, Disenchant. Well, that's pretty good. Some incentive still to play white, I would say. There might be enough incentive to play white where we just ditch the Blanchwood Armor plan and we're perfectly fine. We'll see. I do like the idea of Prospector powering out 8 and 10 drops. That's kind of cool. Like I said, Blanchwood Armor is nothing to write home about. It's just a cool idea to do. And if you're in mono green, there's really no reason not to. I don't think we're playing Wasteful Harvest. I kind of doubt we're doing Pallbearer. Looking pretty good otherwise. Already have 15 creatures. That's good. I'll take a shoot down now. I'll have 1 shoot down. I like it. Certainly main deckable. I guess we have Disenchant already, but this deals with flyers too, so that's relevant. Playing both is probably still fine. Take the Excavation. I don't think we're doing it, though. Do I have enough cheap things? That's always the question. Stalwart, Harvester, Steel Seeker. So we could use some more 2-drops. I think we're off the Blanchwood Armor plan. So we need probably at least a couple more 2-drop creatures to make me feel more comfortable with this deck. But Amulet is good. Lauren's Escape, I mean, possibly makes the deck. I kind of doubt it, just because I don't think we'll have enough space. But it's possible. So yeah, we're like 2 or 3 2-drops away from having a deck that I feel pretty good about. We'll let someone have Rock Hunter because we're not in red. I don't need a Liquid Metal coating, though. I haven't seen that played yet. I don't know how you would really abuse that in Limited necessarily. There's probably ways. Liberator's a great card. It is 3-drop, and we're hunting for 2-drops, but this card is very good. Self-Assembler is very good in a deck that already has Assembly Worker. Airlift Chaplain's actually very good for this deck, but I've got to take Liberator here. This card's just amazing. This card's weird, though. Being able to cast your artifacts and colorless spells as flash is great, but I feel like typically you're attacking with this and you want to play them on your turn to get the extra damage in. But being able to, I mean, playing like a Surprise Cave Guard or a Rust Goliath is pretty strong. End of your turn, tap 10, play a 10-10 Reach Trample. 10-10 Reach Trample Flash. It's pretty good. Ashnod Flesh. Oh, this card's great. Yeah. Really, really good there. But probably just taking Bushwhack number 2. I mean, we've got the fatties to support it. Keeps us busy early, makes more hands keepable. Yeah. Taking it. Happy about it. So. Could take the Prowler. Vanguard having Vigilance and we have a ton of artifacts, so that kind of makes sense. It's just Prowler finds more lands, which with all the expensive stuff in here, I kind of like it. They're both 2-drops though, so either one's good for the deck. This is better if we have a bunch of graveyard shenanigans. I probably just take the Vanguard. The combination of Vigilance and getting buffed when you play artifacts is very good. This thing becomes a big problem for some decks. So we can take another Crusher. We can take another Tower Worker. Playing 2 Tower Workers isn't great. Whenever you gain life, you may pay X, where X is less than or equal to the amount of life you gain if you do draw X card. It's kind of cool. We don't really have a ton of life gain in here, though. I don't think Lauren's Escape's going to make the deck. I don't know. I doubt actually we're doing the Giant Growth Plan anymore, just because we're not a beatdown deck. We're a big fat fatty deck. So I mean, I feel like I have enough beef in here where taking a Tower Worker would be fine, but I need some more 2-drops, so maybe I take the Prowler, which doesn't ramp, but gives us another 2-drop, trades with X1s, gets us a land. Probably take it over Chaplain, just because I'm really hunting for cheap things here. We just need enough cheap things. Like, I don't need Harvester in here necessarily anymore. It's cool that this exiles, though. It can deal with some pesky artifact stuff. I would play Disenchant over Shoot Down, so I kind of doubt we're going to play Shoot Down 2. Between 2 Bushwhacks and an Epic Confrontation and a Disenchant, our removal suite's really not that bad. Another Semblance Anvil, still don't care about it. Power Stone Engineer's not bad here. Or we can take another Epic Confrontation, or we can take the Mine Worker. I'm going to take the Confrontation because our creature count's pretty high, although a lot of it is expensive. But this one also buffing is kind of nice, especially since a lot of our cheap things are not that good. So now I feel like our removal suite's pretty good. So we can take another Tower Worker here. Geez, Giant Cindermaw's good. But we'll take another Tower Worker. Not a great card, but it's got reach. Can stop, 2 power flyers. It's an artifact. The second Rust Goliath doesn't seem super good anyway, so all right. So Recluse. Opportunist, I think, is the pick. Get another Blanchwood, but no, at this point, I feel good about the white cards we have, I think. Yeah, I feel Especially given Steel Seraph can be prototype. Like, sometimes just playing this on turn 3 is like, they answer it or they die. Opportunist is amazing for this deck, though, so we're taking that. We can take the Power Plant Worker. We can take another Epic Confrontation. I mean, I suppose we have enough creatures to do it. All right, got the Self-Assembler back. It's actually a nice pickup for us. Anytime we can get another body out of playing a 5-drop 4/4 that we can ramp into is just, it's just good. I don't need any of this. Guess this for sideboard because we're not going to play Pallbearer or the Harvest. So maybe we're off the reconstructed Thopters because we're not beating down Millstone. Don't really need it. Don't need the Union of the Third Path. Doesn't matter. Don't need either one. Neither one makes the deck. A third Tower Worker. Well, this is starting to get excessive. I doubt we need 3 Tower Workers to be able to play our expensive stuff. Can take the Dig Site. Possibly makes the deck. Ivory Tower, I don't think does. Last pick Hoarding Recluse, I mean, that possibly makes the deck, but... So we have some cuts to make, obviously. Let's figure this out here. So 6 cuts. We're definitely doing 17 lands. I kind of like all of our end game already, especially with all the ramp we have. Let's dump the Thopters. We can cut quite a few creatures. Thopters are good. I feel like they're better when you're beating down, which we're just not. We're not going to beat down with this deck, so I probably still keep the Harvester around just because I can possibly unearth it with Stalwart, but more importantly because it's a 2-drop with 3 power, so it trades early, which I think is important. And, you know, Epic Confrontation on it, it's a 4/3 fighter. That's really not bad either. Let's cut a Tower Worker, at least one. We have to make 3 more cuts. So maybe I am off the Recluse. I don't need Rust Goliath, but I don't mind having it. It's another finisher that we can play for 5 mana. We have all this ramp now, so it's probably okay. I can easily cut 3 creatures and call it a deck. So maybe the Recluse does go, even though it's got Death Touch and all that. Maybe just 1 Tower Worker, because the ramp we have now is what? Stalwart. We've got Opportunist, Foundry Inspector, Tower Worker, Retrieval Unit, Prospector. So we have quite a few ways now to get to our top end. And then I just need 1 more cut. I mean, Rust Goliath might be the weakest top end, so there might be some reason to cut that. Yeah, because Bushwhack finds lands too. I want to keep my 2-drops around. This also finds lands, so all right. I mean, the question comes down to basically, do I have enough top end to win? With Lauren, which is our only legend, not that that's a big deal. Wait, no, we have 2 legends now. Sweet. So we can even do Lauren twice. That's great. With Lauren, though, yeah, I mean, getting back Seraph, Crusher, or Cave Guard probably wins games. Rust Goliath's got to be our weakest top end. I'd much rather pay 8 mana for an 8/8 Vigilance Ward 4 than 10 mana for a 10/10 Reach Trample. All right, let's cut the Rust Goliath. Self-Assembler is still good enough. Even if it's just plucking out a Tower Worker, that's yet another way to ramp and get to our 7 and 8 mana stuff. And this, you know, doubles the 4 mana thing's not irrelevant. This deck's okay. I'm not like blown away by this deck, but it's not bad. The plan's there. We have enough removal. Hopefully we have enough finishers. We really don't have much evasion, which could be a problem. But Steel Seraph and a way to get it back is hopefully good enough, so we'll see. Steel Seraph and Liberator. Couple flyers. All right. Well, this is going to have to be good enough, so we'll run it like this. We'll see you round 1. His hand is good. We go Stalwart into Prowler, hopefully find a land, and then we get to do turn 3 Inspector. And we've already we're pretty close to paying a full cost Crusher. So, good hand. I mean, we are a ramp deck after all. And I like what Crusher does, especially if you pay the full cost one. Ah, Liberator's a good draw. Let's do the Prowler here. Oh, Amulet. Well, we missed on the land, but really not too big of a deal. We gotta go Liberator first, I think. Because if I play Inspector here, this gets 1 cheaper, so then it's 6. So let's say I play Inspector. I'm just deciding if I can play this next turn, then it's worth it. So right now we have 4 mana. With this, we'd have 5, 6. So it's still not enough to do the full cost Crusher. So we're going to do Liberator. Just because Liberator just gets better every time you play something, basically. Not to mention it has flying, you know. It's pretty nice. Must have a board wipe. I don't know how they're not playing anything. Well, playing into a board wipe, I guess, but can't help myself. I could have played that with Flash, but like I said, it's one of those things where you want to deal the extra damage with Liberator, so. All right, so they're like a graveyard deck of some sort here. Let's just do the Crusher. They're at 11. Let's do an Amulet. This does not get bigger because I'm not casting a spell. They block that. They take 5. So let's do Crusher. I'm just going to assume they don't have a board wipe here. So we'll pay the 6, and we're going to tap the Inspector. Because then I can do Cave Guard next turn. Because otherwise they're just going to trade, so all right. And with Crusher, I'm getting in for 7 flying, and if I play Epic Confrontation or Cave Guard, they're just dead with Liberator plus Iron Crusher attack. So, I mean, they do have the Aeronaut's Wings, so they could pay 2 to equip and have a blocker, but they still have to deal with the Crusher. So they're in pretty big trouble here, especially with the Confrontation. Yeah, I mean, they're straight up just dead now for doing that. We don't have to play any more spells, so I'm not going to. We're just going to attack with, because they don't have lifelink or anything, right? No. So we just attack with these 2. And oh, wait. I was supposed to play Epic Confrontation. Whoops. That was my mistake. I did not maths correctly there. Gosh, I even could have attacked with everything and killed him. All right. I am already on to a very sloppy start here, guys. I'm not going to play the Cave Guard. I'm actually going to wait. Because I can do Amulet, Unearth next turn. They still have to deal with Liberator. Even if they deal with Liberator, they have to play 2 more blockers plus deal with Liberator. So that doesn't look like it's going to happen. See, it was all part of my grand plan to see more cards in their hand. Sure. So they go to 6. They're still dead. So they have 2 blockers. So we go Amulet. And they block my 2 biggest guys. This, and they take 6, so they die. don't even need to show them the epic confrontation or anything. All right. Sloppy. No doubt. Sloppy, but we got there. Sideboard, I mean, we have a lot of sideboard options, actually, but do I care enough about any of them? Not after seeing what they've got. We can, I mean, turning off their Recommission and their Hero of the Dunes is something that we can actually kind of reliably do if we ever stick a Harvester. Not bad. But as far as actual sideboard for this matchup, I don't think so. I think we run it back. Yes, his hand is very keepable. This is why Bushwhack is great. We can do turn 1 Bushwhack, Plains, turn 2 Steel Seeker. We could actually just go... I mean, we can't go turn 3 Steel Seraph anyway, can we? Because we have to do Bushwhack to find the second Plains next turn, so... we're just going to do Steel Seeker now. And next turn we can do the Bushwhack and get the second Plains if we so desire. So I can kill a Mine Worker. I don't really want to though, so let's just do our second Bushwhack. And we'll get another Plains and we'll play it. And then we can go... Technically we can go turn 4 Crusher. We can do the Seraph though too. Both options are good. Probably do the Seraph, to be honest. Just because then we get lifelink online. And if they kill it, we have the Lauren to get it back immediately, and then we can play it even bigger. I like that. This kind of makes sense to me, I think. They're also off black mana, which is not irrelevant. Sure. So we can get it right back now with Lauren. So that's good. We get a free land too, which is great. Get in for 1. So next turn we go Lauren, we get back our Steel Seraph, and then we're a mana away from playing it much bigger. Elite. Very good. Alright, let's get Lauren online. Get Steel Seraph back. So technically we could prototype this again, plus Epic Confrontation after giving lifelink, which is pretty good. Did get, I think we just go for full mana here, so. We'll leave that on top. No attack. They can trade with both. I don't care. We only have one other legend in the deck anyway, so that's fine. We get a 2-for-1, we gain 3 life. They still have to deal with the Steel Seraph. Alright, sure. They had 2 ways to deal with it. We're still in pretty good shape. We got some fatties in here. We're a mana away from this fatty, so that's pretty good. Next turn I can go like... Got some options here. I can go Inspector. Plus, let's see. Could go Inspector Onulet if I draw a land. That's pretty good. Not draw the land, that's right. So we can take another hit from the Elite, so I'm okay going Inspector first here. Let's see what we have on top. Could prototype the Crusher if I really wanted. Let's get a free land. Now we can do Onulet, that's great. So we'll play that. Possibly get another land. Get another land. This is just Steel Seeker being absolutely amazing. So now we can trade with Elite. Ah, that's pretty good. So let's just play. Do I want to discard? I can play everything in my deck, so I could discard the forest and not have to pay 5. Let's just do a big expensive crusher then. Actually, we can get rid of Tower Worker here, can't we? Or I could pay 5 life. I'm gonna have to discard if I do confrontate. I don't need a Tower Worker though. Let's dump it. I don't really need a Vanguard either. I mean, it's not bad, but we kind of feel like we tapped out our artifacts to a certain extent. So let's just go Amulet, Elite. And here I might just lose 5. Could dump the Harvester, I guess. But I'm going to lose 5, go to 8. Because we have another confrontation in hand too. And then we just get in for a boatload. And I mean, with Iron Claw Crusher, they're in a tough spot. Confrontation with Crusher too, so we even get a +5 on another creature. I mean, it's pretty strong. Sure. All right. So we have another confrontation. We're just going to do that. And we'll discard the planes. And we'll get in for a bunch. And I guess we'll play Harvester. We have to go down to 3 life. And we get another discard thing for our next card we want to cast here. All right, so they're dead now because hostile negotiations. It doesn't matter. We'll just let them have that because it doesn't matter. All right. See for round 2. All right, round 2 we'll play first. Sands Keep. No green mana, but got turn 2 Harvester. Still worth keeping, especially with the amount of brown cards we have in our deck. So, and hey, we hit a green mana. We're already hopefully ramping off a Prowler into Crusher, or Amulet, whatever. Love that Bushwhack. Great card. All right. Hey, more white mana. Actually, not that bad. It's still building us towards at least Amulet. And like a full cost Crusher at some point. What's this do? This is a page counter on it. Scribe 1. Put a page counter on it. Draw a card when they're 4 mage. Oh, that's a great card. Yeah, I like that. So we can exile the Bushwhack. The only issue with Harvester is you have to exile, but not really that big of a deal, so. This card's great. I would personally want to take full advantage of the draw card portion of it, but I'm happy enough for them just scrying off of it. We'll see if they keep doing that, or I mean, it's only 2 mana to draw a card off. It's pretty excellent. Great card advantage. Good one. Bushwhack. Unfortunate. I mean, as long as they're occupying their time doing Maze Mine tomes, I'm kind of okay with that. It's better than them playing huge beats. Oof. All right. We're in a pretty tough spot now. Hey, green mana. So we probably do the Prowler. Although I'm probably not going to be able to block their dudes anyway, huh? Well, let's just do Prowler, because we either end up with a 2/2 or we get a Forest. Either one's pretty good. All right, we're going to take the Forest, which means we're taking 5, but the next turn we at least get like Self-Assembler or Amulet. Both of those are pretty good. Most likely, I guess, the self-assembler because you get a free card out of it too. But you could probably use the life from the Onulet, so maybe that makes more sense. Alright. Not the worst. Let's play that. Let's get self-assembler. That way we have a blocker and we get a free tower worker. Not bad. So then next turn we can, with 6 mana, we can play Onulet plus Bushwhack. That's pretty good. Can at least get some bodies off the ground because I feel like they're likely going to kill this self-assembler. Smash for 7. Alright, so we'll block the biggest dude and take 4. They're probably giant growth or whatever. Hey, it's still trade. I'll take it. Alright. Sure. Well, we got that, but a bunch of 2/2s. So let's do the Liberator, and then we can flash out a Tower Worker. They know about the Tower Worker, but this actually ends up still being fine. Oh, I could have flashed that out. Whoops. That was a mistake. Told you, it's not my day. I've been sloppy today. Real sloppy. Yeah, this worked out way worse for us than it should have. So I gotta flash this out now so I can block. But yeah. I chose one of these days where I'm just not making good decisions, so there is that. At least I can double block something, unless I have more removal, in which case I really, really screwed up. Yeah, I really, really am playing sloppy today. So I feel as though I probably have to... Oh, geez. Super, super sloppy today, unfortunately. So let's see how we do this. I don't think I can live anymore. I can do Crusher. Let's see. No, because I only have 3 green. So I can do Onulet plus Epic Confrontation, still die. I can do Crusher plus Bushwhack, still die. If I could do Crusher plus Bushwhack plus Confrontation, I'd still die, so it doesn't matter. All right, we'll go to game 2. I gotta focus. I gotta play well. I hate those brain fart days, those ones where you're not making good decisions. Because you know that you're at a disadvantage of your normal. You're in a tough spot where you're not in a good headspace to like play. So you really, really got to focus, which is just difficult when you're already on like that. Okay, I'm not on my A game today. So I don't like that feeling where it's like something is off with my playing today, and I don't like that feeling. So let's run it back. I'm not going to do the dig site, especially since we had a color problem that game. They do have removal, so I could do Lauren's Escape, but I don't think we want to. So they're like an aggro deck. I mean, they beat us with Argot. That's sad. I mean, really, we got beaten from misplay plus Mana Screw, so I feel fine with this match. We would have been perfectly fine had I drawn and or played better. We still keep. Deck's making it difficult for me to win, though, but I don't think we can mull a hand that's got the Disenchant and a Liberator in it. All right, so do the Liberator first. So have to take 9 so I can disenchant, but we're still in just a real tough spot here, aren't we? I think we have to take the Prowler and hope we draw a land. Because if I don't hit the land there, I think we're toast anyway. So now at least I got the land so I can disenchant the Juggernaut. All right, so wish I could do something about that. I can't. It's just unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Hate losing like this. Alright, we'll do the Crusher since it, I guess, looks okay here. It's really not even that good here, but it's gonna have to be good enough. Yeah, it's disappointing. Yeah. Ah, bummer. Oh, that's too bad. All right, see you in round 3. I'll try and get my head in the game here. All right, round 3, play first. Yeah, we can keep this. No white mana, but we have enough ramp to get to Steel Seraph pretty quick, so just need to draw any land and we can get there. So So pretty crazy of them to attack with the frontliner when I've got a harvester like that. Wow. They're really gonna regret that. So we'll just get in with Tower Worker and play a Stone Retrieval unit, and then we're at Steel Seraph mana for next turn. And I guess we can get our white mana for off Bushwhack if we really need it. Or to use it as a fight spell, either one works. Sure. So Steel Seraph can't actually give Death Touch. Flying Vigilance or Lifelink, so we could trade a Retrieval unit for a frontliner, but it's actually not worth it. Guess I could just Bushwhack a Harvester on a Tower Worker, and then I could get in for 7. Yeah, I don't mind that. Can take out the Clear Cutter too. They tap the Tower Worker, so why don't we just take care of Clear Cutter? So they even don't have the ramp now. And then we can give Lifelink to Steel Seraph. And get in for a bunch here. I guess I could have given Flying to Retrieval unit. I don't think it actually matters, though. They're definitely not if they're taking it all. So we could Bushwhack for a Plains and still cast Liberator because I haven't played a land this turn. I currently don't need the Plains though, I guess, so I don't see the reason to do that. So they played all artifacts so far, which I guess makes Shoot Down look a little bit better. Okay. All right. Oh, I could have killed it. Ah, whatever. Just add it to the list of mistakes today. All right, so we'll... Yeah. We'll just get in for more damage here. Because this doesn't have reach, right? No. Sure. All right. So we Bushwhack. So we go Harvester on Tower Worker. Could Bushwhack Onulet on Boulder Branch Golem, but then I still can't really attack with the Onulet because they could block with the Frontliner, which once again really is punishing me for not blocking with that Liberator. All right, we'll just get in with the Liberator then. I mean, I guess I could attack with Onulet too. All right, let's do that. That's actually fine. This makes sense. Yeah, I don't think I have any others, do I? No. All right, so then we go. I think we just attack then, don't we? All right. Despite my best efforts to lose here, thankfully still winning. Could do the shoot down. I mean, they just played all artifacts and enchantments, so shoot downs probably could not be better than this matchup here. We could cut maybe one of our fight spells for it, like a Epic Confrontation. That's probably fine. Technically, I could cut another creature instead and just bring in more removal. That's true, too. I don't know which one I'd want to cut, though. Maybe like a Prowler, because I don't really... Probably don't need it here. Yeah. It's not bad. More land is not bad. But I could see cutting it and just keeping more removal around since we have the creatures to spare. All right. That's fine. Bushwhack's really never looked better in this hand, so we'll get to at least find our white mana, and we'll have to draw lands, but still, this is a hand where Bushwhack is amazing. Wow. Talk about a good draw. I mean, if it's not going to be a land, how about a ramp guard that can attack? Oh, they're missing their land drop, so they're in big trouble now. So we can power out a Crusher here. We're 2 away from being able to... I guess I could have Epic Confrontation there, couldn't I? Gotten in for 6. I'm just going to power out the Crusher. I mean, they're missing land drops. Yeah, we play Crusher. This is just going to be a lot of damage. Now we get to play Lorne and get it back. And maybe even play it for full price at some point. That's pretty good. Alright, so technically 5 mana. They can double block Opportunists, so Let's just do Lauren and get back Crusher for now. One mana from full cast Crusher now. It's pretty good. Yeah. So we'll just do the big man that they already know about. And at this point, I guess we can attack with everything. Sure. All right, so we can go Prospector of our own. And I guess we can do Confrontation and get in for 6. They're 1 mana away from a full Boulder Branch Golem, though. That's fine. Getting in for 6 here is worth it. Or it's really 7. Yeah, getting in for 7 is definitely worth it. Because then they're going to at least have to block 2 guys. So even if, I guess if they do Boulder Branch Golem, they do live. Sure. How did I not realize they're mono white too this whole time? Wait, are they mono white? I can't even remember. That's how foggy my brain is today. Let's see if they have the Deadly Repost as well. All right. Well, I don't know if they screwed up their block or what. We went 2-1. Considering my brain and my plays today, 2-1 is like the best possible outcome we could have had. Our deck was kind of weird too, so I'm pretty thankful it didn't. It worked out okay. Misplaced and all. All right, pack 1, pick 1. Let's take, I guess, Beachhead. Honestly, it's not amazing, but nothing in here is really that good. Corrupt, there's some reason to be mono black. That's true. It's kind of a cool mono black card. But yeah, I mean, do you really want to first pick? It's an uncommon. I mean, Fortified Beachhead's nothing to write home about, but Soldier deck is good, and this is being a land that also buffs. Probably the Beachhead. That does make sense. Land spells are typically good. I don't even know what this does. Enters battlefield with 3 plus 1. Oh, I have played against this. For each green cast. Jeez. For each white cast. Oh, man. Yeah, this card is obvious pick. Bonkers strong. Well, it's a mythic for a reason, I guess. Taunos the Toymaker. I don't think I've seen this one. 5 mana, 3/5. Whenever you cast a bird, beast or bird, you may copy it, except it's an artifact. I can't even think of any beasts or birds in this format, so I don't know if I would take the Toymaker on that one. I might take the Courser. I'd have to look at all the beasts and birds. I do like Courser a lot, though. It's a good card. And finally, Thopter Mechanic's a great card. 2-drop that just can progressively get bigger and gives you a body when it dies, even if you don't mess around with the draw mechanic. It's a great card. Yeah, Thopter Mechanic, easy pick there. All right. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you for the next one.